I'm about to rank every gallery in Fortnite created from worst to best. I was recently watching one of Lachlan's ranking videos, and I thought to myself, why haven't I done this yet on my channel? And I thought there's nothing better to rank in Fortnite creative than the prefabs and galleries themselves. Now these rankings are based on my own opinion and on my own building experience. Someone else who builds very different maps than me is going to have a very different ranking. And I should say, even the worst gallery on here is amazing. And just a warning, I did leave off some of like these galleries here. Like I only included galleries that have prefabs attached to it. So I'm excited to dive into this because there's a lot to talk about. Before we jump in though, Core, the sponsor of this video, has a huge announcement. If you don't know what Core is a free game creation platform that lets you build, publish, and play games. We've played some of their games on my channel before, and I've even jumped in and used their awesome terrain editor tool. And I will be jumping more into their tools in the future. But just yesterday, Core announced a huge invitational game jam with $120,000 in prizes. The competition is to see who can make the most impressive game in Core. You don't have to have any prior experience in Core. If you go to the link in my description, there's a lot of great information about the invitational, the dates that it's going to run, how many people are going to be accepted into the competition, and even details on how they can help you get onboarded into Core. So make sure you go and check out this awesome competition. I would love it if one of my viewers won the whole thing. Okay guys, let's jump into our list. Okay, let's get started guys. It goes from S to D, S being like the best ones out there, and D being the ones that just aren't that great. I've got 49 to go through here, so I've kind of grouped some together. For example, like the robot, the monster, and the robot base are all one group. So let's just go through this alphabetically, and this is just how I would rank them. If you would rank them differently, you can go to the link in the description below to rank your own, and then tweet me the image of your rankings to kind of say, Mustard, you're a dummy. Okay, let's start with the Agency, a brand new gallery and prefab. These galleries have a lot of really interesting pieces. I love having the round kind of brick looking pieces. The Agency prefab also has that really amazing clear water. There's a lot of really cool, unique pieces in this. So I think I'm gonna have to put it in the A slot for the Agency. Ooh, the Arctic prefabs and galleries. These are actually some galleries I don't use a ton. There's definitely some good stuff in here from the pipes. I actually use this floor a ton, and this is the only place you can find these red walls, so that's really nice, but I almost never use that. So for me, I'm gonna put this in B, I think. I'm realizing I'm kind of in the way of the like letters here. Let me just switch this. Okay, I'm on the other side now, so hopefully this doesn't throw you off too much to see me over here. Ooh, okay, next we've got Art Deco. Man, the Art Deco galleries are actually amazing. There's all sorts of stuff going on here with amazing doorways, awesome wall pieces, beautiful floors that are like really shiny, got really cool like chandeliers, gold pieces. There's a lot going on in the Art Deco galleries. So honestly, guys, I think I'm gonna have to rank this above the Agency. This maybe even is like SA tier quality, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it in A. This might get bumped up to S though. Okay, now moving on to the bridge galleries. So the bridge galleries are really cool, and I think they're great for a very specific type of look you're going for. And I would say that these pieces down here, these like sandy looking pieces, those are the highlight of this gallery. This is how you're gonna get like a Tatooine or like a dusty desert looking building. But those are the only pieces that are like holding up these galleries from like a C or a D, because really I would rarely use these galleries, but I'm gonna put it up in B because of those like sandy looking pieces. And those sandy pieces might actually bump it above the Arctic ones. Oh, and I should mention, I'm kind of ranking them, so the better ones on the B are gonna be on the left versus the worst ones on the right. Okay, next the castle galleries. Ooh. Honestly, guys, these galleries are still one of the most useful ones in all of Fortnite for me. I love the staircases, I love the walls, the archways, but honestly, guys, I don't know if I use it as much as I do the Art Deco anymore. So I'm gonna put it above Agency, but below Art Deco. Okay, next we got Craggy Cliffs. Craggy actually has some really interesting galleries. With my recent like Skyrim build, I've actually dipped into the Craggy galleries quite a bit. They have these really unique looking roof styles with like the yellow on it, which I think is really cool. And a lot of the like really great signs and staircases and things that you can use in a lot of different maps. But honestly, guys, before my Skyrim build, I have never even gone into Craggy Cliffs at all. So I feel like you're only gonna go in there for very specific things. For that reason, I'm actually gonna drop it into the B category. Ooh, next we're going into Dark Tilted. Dark Tilted actually has a ton going for it. And because Dark Tilted has a ton of different buildings, like this is one of the only places you can find really these awesome like Greek pillars. Got lots of really cool different looking props that you just can't find anywhere else. Honestly, guys, I think I use Dark Tilted more than the castle and maybe even more than Art Deco. So I'm gonna have to put it here at the top of A for now, maybe moving up to S at some point. All right, diners and gas stations it is. So in the prefabs, there's this section here that has all these different like diners and gas stations and different things. And so I kind of group those all together. Now, if you look in here, there's a lot of really interesting pieces, cool floor pieces, and you have the really unique, fun Fortnite things like the tomato head, the Durr burger, that kind of stuff. But a lot of these pieces and things in these, other than like the roof pieces, but other than that, a lot of this is found in other galleries. So I would never give this a D because there's just so much unique in it. But I might put this at the top of C because they're ones that I like would rarely use myself. Okay, next is Dusty Depot. So Dusty is actually a really interesting prefab gallery selection. Like if we're just looking at like these hangars, it's really boring. This would definitely be a D for me. But because we have the Dusty Depot visitor warehouse, now we've got some really interesting stuff to look at. You've got like this shiny piece here you see in a ton of maps. And then you've got all these really cool like robot pieces. You got this arm here, which I used in my hub. Like there's some really cool pieces in the Dusty Depot visitor warehouse that you just can't find anywhere else. So I'm gonna have to put this at the top of B for me. Okay, now for the Ego galleries. These are actually really similar to like Dusty Depot for me. So for me, the Ego galleries aren't so much about the wall or the floor galleries, but the props. There's some amazing props in this gallery, and I find myself dipping into here quite a bit. So I'm gonna actually place it right next to the Arctic because that's about as often as I use it. Man, we've got no D's or S's yet. Man, we gotta get to really judging here. Okay, we have the farm next. Now these are the galleries that are at the very top of the prefabs list. This is not Frenzy Farm. I kind of separated those two out. Now these are much older pieces. We've had these forever, but really the only piece out of this whole collection here that I've ever used is the silo. So if you take the silo out of this, I would put this down in like the bottom of C. But because it has a silo, I'm probably gonna put it at the top of C for me. Okay, next we have Flush Factory. Now Flush is pretty basic. I honestly don't know if I've ever come into these galleries. Like maybe occasionally to grab like a toilet or something. And for that reason, I'm gonna dish out my first D. I'm sorry, Flush. Ooh, this is a good one. Fortilla. The Fortilla galleries were one of the first galleries we got after our big long drought where we never got any updates. So when we finally got these Fortilla galleries, it was like a godsend. I mean, these are some of the most massive galleries in the entire game mode. And then the actual prop gallery has so many cool, fun things in it that are very useful. I definitely think it's in the A category. So I think I'm gonna put it after Agency. Actually, scratch that. I think I'm gonna put it ahead of Agency, but just below Castle. Okay, next is Frenzy Farm. So the Frenzy Farm galleries are actually very similar to the Fortilla ones. There's lots of different color options. It also has the silver silo, which I have used quite a bit in my maps. So I don't think it's in the A tier like Fortilla, but it's definitely a solid B. So I'm gonna put it right below Dusty. Ooh, Haunted. The Haunted galleries, guys, are probably one of the galleries I use more than anything else. If you're looking for awesome broken down stonework, this is the place. Not only does the Haunted have like the stone galleries, but the wall gallery is incredibly useful. You get this old-timey look, and then you also have this like nice clean castle look as well. So you just get a ton in these galleries. So Haunted is our very first S tier prefab and gallery. Okay, moving on to the Hero Mansion. So the Hero Mansion has the like normal version and the decayed version, which is cool. But for the most part, I rarely drop into the Hero Gallery. I think this is gonna have to go into the C level for me. Sorry, Hero Mansion. Okay, let's move on to houses. So you'll see here on like the prefab list, there's like the modern house, and you got the brick house, the blue house, the other house. These are like the houses you see in Salty and Pleasant Park. This is where you come if you want to find decorations for your house. But I feel like these galleries have kind of gotten forgotten about because you can find a lot of these pieces in pretty much every other gallery, prop gallery, etc. So I'm gonna leave it down here and see. Sorry, house galleries. Okay, next is the Ice House Gallery. These are actually some galleries I just think are so cool. I almost never use them, but I don't build a lot of ice looking maps. But because they're so unique and this is the only place you can find these props and galleries and walls, I need to rank this higher just because even if I don't use it a lot, it is one of the most unique of all of the prefabs and galleries. You just can't find duplicates of it anywhere. So I'm gonna put it at the top of B. Okay, Junk Junction. I don't know what to say about Junk Junction, guys. There's really almost nothing I ever use in these. I mean, I guess it does have the crane, which is cool. And like the mushed up cars and stuff is nice too. So I feel bad about this Junk Junction, but you're getting a D. I'll put you above Flush. Sorry, Flush. Okay, next is Kevin. And I do love that the actual actual cube has all of the properties of it that you can bounce off of it. It's got these really unique purple crystals that can actually be blown up huge. And I've used those quite a bit actually for terrain. So I'm actually gonna probably put it up here at the bottom of A. Okay, next is Lazy Links, our newest prefab and gallery. Now with Lazy, there's actually not a ton that's super unique about it. The roofs are unique, and I actually may use the green roofs for my Skyrim build. Maybe there's some other hidden gems in the Lazy Links, but I feel like a lot of this gallery you can find in a lot of other galleries. So Lazy is gonna be at the bottom of C for me because it's just a bit lazy. All right, next is the Lighthouse galleries. So the Lighthouse galleries include Lockie's Lighthouse and the Lighthouse Keeper's Home. So the home is just like the house galleries for me, and then the actual Lighthouse has some really unique pieces, but since the Princess galleries have come out, I feel like I never even look at the Lighthouse anymore. So sorry, Lighthouse, you're getting down here by Lazy. Okay, next is Lucky's Landing. So Lucky is the only place you can find this oriental look, which I love. And one thing I'm looking for in this list is what is unique, what you can't find anywhere else. Like these roofs are only found in the Lucky Landing prefabs and galleries. They have these really unique looking bamboo trees, which are great for jungle. And it's got the giant pink tree and the flowers that I don't think you can find those flowers too many places. So honestly, I think Lucky might be an A or at the top of B. I'm actually gonna put it above the agency here for me. Okay, next is the Meteor galleries. So these galleries are actually really small, guys, but there are some cool things in here that you can't find anywhere else. And I've used the Meteor particle galleries in probably 4 or 5 maps. Because it's so unique, I'm gonna put it in B, probably above Bridge, just because I love it so much. All right, military base. So the military bases were the very first prefabs and galleries that we had in creative mode that were just for creative mode. Like we have never seen any of these parts in Battle Royale. You can get the military galleries in red, blue, yellow, green. There's just a lot going on in this. So I may even put military up in S, but I don't know if I use this as much as Dark Tilted or the Art Deco. I might put it just above Art Deco. I don't know, guys. All right, the next is the movie set. So the movie set has the cool like green screen walls, but other than that, I don't think I've ever come into this gallery like ever. I mean, I guess it does have the like broken down helicopter, which may make it the top of the D list. Okay, the next is Neo Tilted. This is at the top tier for me because I come into the Neo Tilted prop gallery all the time. And then also their wall galleries and floor galleries are very unique and just have a lot going on for it. Neo's gonna be up here with Art Deco, I think just under Art Deco. Okay, the next are the obstacle course pieces, guys. These may be the most used pieces in all of creative mode. Just think of how many death runs you've seen using these pieces. I think they are great for what they are, and we've had them pretty much since the beginning of creative mode, but I almost never use these anymore. So for those that are still using the obstacle course stuff, I'm sorry for putting this at the very bottom of C. Next is Pandora. The Pandora galleries, guys, are actually really cool. These like container pieces are incredibly useful. And then not only that, they have this other gallery here that has like the cool post-apocalyptic like pieced together metal siding look. They also have the big windmills that actually move, which people have used to like show moving trains. They also have a really cool lighting gallery, and then their prop gallery is actually really unique and fun. The Pandora is definitely in the A category. I just don't know where to put it. I might put it just below Castle for now. Oh, pirate. Okay, hear me out on this one, guys. The pirate gallery is so diverse. So first you have the pirate fort, which is basically a lot of the haunted galleries, and then you have the pirate ship, which has tons of unique stuff from the like prison to these crazy looking pieces here to the curved like boat structure, which you can find in the Viking gallery, but I'd probably really just use the pirate gallery usually. And then you have all of these other cool buildings too that have these really cool roofs, and you have the pirate deck, which has the cobblestone in it. Honestly, for me, guys, I find myself dipping to the pirate galleries so much that I'm gonna have to put it in S tier. Ooh, the power plant. Great like color options, and they do have like the pinkish purple water as well, but I find myself rarely dipping into them, so I'm gonna put it in B, probably above Dusty Depot. I don't think I can rank it lower because there are a lot of really useful things there. Yes, the princess galleries. Man, when these came out, guys, I was so hyped. Honestly, this was like the biggest update of 2020. We finally got something else that was unique to creative mode, and there is so much unique and cool in these galleries. Like all of the different roof options, you've got really cool, unique, like vegetation and foliage. You've got all of the round staircases, round floor pieces, which you can't find anywhere else. And the prop gallery just has some crazy unique things in it. My only issue with the princess galleries is that it's a little too princessy sometimes, but the pieces are so useful that I'm gonna put it up here at the bottom of S tier. Okay, guys, I'm gonna kind of power through these last ones. Okay, Pueblo. Pueblo. I should probably be using the Pueblo pieces more often, but I don't think I've ever used these once. I don't think it's fair for me to drop it into D, but I'm gonna put it below the obstacle course here at the bottom of C. Okay, pyramids next. So there's actually quite a bit in the pyramid and like shrine and temple, courtyard, galleries. Like these are unique pieces that you're never gonna find anywhere else. And I've played maps with, have used all of these pieces so many times. So I definitely think the pyramid galleries are somewhere in the A region. For me, it feels similar to like Lucky Landing. So I'm actually gonna drop it just above of Lucky. Okay, next we've got the Racetrack. The Racetrack galleries just don't have a lot going for it that's unique. But mostly you can find all the Racetrack stuff in other galleries. It's very similar to like Lazy Links for me. So I'm gonna drop it down here by Pueblo at the bottom of C. Okay, Retail Row. So Retail Row is all of these buildings here, the detective's office, Nom's, Joel's, and then I also threw in Mega Mall. Mega Mall probably should have had its own gallery because it's so different than the rest, but I needed to kind of group things together. So honestly, the Retail Row stuff is gonna be probably C level for me, but because Mega Mall is in this, Retail Row gets bumped from a C all the way up to the top of B for me. And honestly, now that I think about it, I might even drop it up here next to like Fortilla. All right, the Rig. So the Rig is very similar to the power plants for me. So I'm gonna put this right next to the power plant. Honestly, these could probably interchange. They feel so similar to me. Oh, this is one of my favorites, guys, the Robot Monster Base. So right here we have the giant robot, the monster skulls, and then the giant robot volcano base, which for me, the volcano base has some really, really awesome pieces. This is basically what I made the whole Death Star out of. And then I love the giant robot. Like he's got some really cool pieces, but I almost never use them myself. And some of the monster skulls like pieces are actually really unique and great for terrain. I'm gonna actually rank this up in A tier, probably next to Kevin. Shanty is next. The Shanty galleries and prefabs are actually really amazing. There are actually some really amazing pieces in here. I haven't used a lot of them yet, but these are fairly new pieces and I just haven't had a chance to really like get into a map that uses a lot of this. And I'm gonna have to rank this probably higher up in the A. Like I'm gonna put it just below Castle here for me. Next is Slurp Swamp. Honestly, this is a prefab and gallery I forget about all the time. Not because it's not great. There's a lot of great options in here. So I might actually put Slurp Swamp here at the top of B. Sweaty Sands is next. Sweaty has some cool stuff in it, but there's not like a ton that's like incredibly unique to it. Although the wall gallery has a lot of really great color options. But once again, I don't use it as much. Like I love the look of like Shanty. So this has to go somewhere probably around Power Plant for me. Okay, Tilted Towers. Oh guys, I'm just realizing I forgot to put in Paradise. Paradise has some cool stuff too, but it would probably be in the B category for me, like top of B. So the tilted prefabs and galleries kind of like include the castle tower here, the apartments, the fish apartments. Now these have a lot of useful pieces in it, but a lot of this is duplicated in other buildings as well. I feel wrong putting tilted lower on this list, but I might put it like somewhere at the bottom of B. The next is Viking. So the Viking ship is really cool. It was the first ship we had. And then the Viking houses are actually really interesting. It's the only one that has like that thatched roof. So for me, Viking is maybe A, but I might just put it at the top of B. Okay, next is the Village. The Village is actually one of those things we got a long time ago, and I honestly forget we even have these sometimes. But there is so much good about these galleries. So honestly, to me, the Village is somewhere in A. It's kind of in that same like Pyramid, Lucky Landing, Retail Row area. I'm gonna put it just above Pyramid. Okay, what's next? Villain's Lair. The Villain's Lair has the decayed version and its normal version. It has some really cool pillars and unique props. And I believe the Villain's Lair is the first one that had like terrain pieces in it. And I remember Rhinex using this to make his loft maps. Pretty sure that was based off the Villain's Lair, but I almost never jump in there myself anymore. So I'm gonna put it down here next to Hero's Mansion. I'll put it above. We'll put it at the top of C. Okay, these next two I'm gonna kind of do together. Honestly, I probably should have just grouped these together. Wailing Woods and Weeping Woods. So the Wailing Woods stuff is probably, you know, somewhere in B. Weeping Woods I feel like is a little bit more useful. But having said that, the Wailing Woods does look a little bit more loggy than the Weeping Woods. So I actually might keep them both together somewhere around Craggy Cliffs. Okay, next we have the Wild West. So once again, things that stand out to me are things that are unique. And the Wild West have some walls and props that are really unique that you can only find in the Wild West stuff. And I don't find myself in it often, but I'm gonna put it up here next to Viking. All right, our last one, guys, this is the Yacht. Now we're ending on a strong note here because the Yacht galleries are absolutely stunning. They have some of the best wood floors, some of the best props that are really unique and cool looking. They have that like fancy look if you're looking to build like a really fancy modern house. You've got the vents, lots of cool pipes. You've got these unique pipes here that you can't find anywhere else. Like the Yacht for me might be S tier. tier. And honestly, yeah, I think it's above dark tilted for me. I'm gonna put it right here at the bottom of S tier. So there you have it. There's the full list. I'm sure a lot of you are saying, you're crazy, Mustard. That should be higher. This should be lower. But that's just my opinion, guys. And guys, don't forget to check out Core for the $120,000 invitational game jam. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and have an awesome day.